Tears falling like rain. I can't eat, can't sleep. It's killing me. To everybody that done lost somebody deep in the game. No way, no love in the ghetto. It ain't nothing but pain, and it's a shame. Can't go to sleep at night, cause you got enemies on the creek at night. I seen fools lose their life over dollar bets and die, fall short for $1 bill. Man, they lose their life. Ain't got drive, but the ghetto got me feeling bad. I'm sorry, I blame it on my mama and my dad. I can't feel.
You gonna wake your daddy up too.
Tears falling like rain. I can't eat, I can't sleep. It's killing me. It's killing me.
Jason Akil Johnson, aka Camoflauge, born December 9th, 1981, died May 19th, 2003. Dushan Bullock, producer at Pure Pain Records, where rapper Camoflauge was signed, said that in early 2003, everyone involved at the label was finally about to be straight, not only financially, but career-wise as well, after their staple rapper Camoflauge began to get real traction. That is, until May 19th came and everything stopped. Camoflauge was gunned down in front of Pure Pain recording studio in Savanna, Georgia, while walking with a toddler believed to be his son at the time. This happened the day after going on a radio station interview with 94.1 The Beat, addressing his slain friend Mike, killed not long before, letting it be known he had plans to ride for his friend, possibly putting Mike's killers on notice, and it's believed they were the ones who came and got him. Both murders went unsolved, as Camoflauge left behind a baby girl just 6 months before she was born. For the entire Savannah, this was a huge blow, as the city to this day hasn't had their time in the sun in rap music, routinely dominated by the shine and attention paid to their giant of a neighbor Atlanta. Camoflauge, though, was special. Since a child, everyone knew he would be something, as by 12 years old, he could already sit and freestyle for hours on end, no pen, no pad, no punching in like rappers do today. He had a gift for music, or as the ones close to him remember, anything he put his mind to. Camoflauge said he just wanted to be like the boys he saw on the street corners, with the gold in their mouth, fancy cars, and fly girls always hanging around them. The hood dream. His plan was to use rap because unlike corporate jobs or sports even, you didn't have to be the brightest in the classroom. Hell, you didn't even have to go to school. Could get caught up with the law, be a drug dealer, grow your hair out and speak broken English, and still you could be the biggest rapper in the world, get paid, wear diamonds and nice clothes, watches, and most importantly, help your community, which for Camoflauge was a huge deal. Even at the height he reached, he'd always come back to the hood and pass out toys on Christmas, dressed in full Camoflauge outfit as he called it, making sure the local kids had a better holiday than they would otherwise. The entire neighborhood knew him as an open-hearted individual, and the music industry was just about to get to know him after his song Cut Friends began to bubble. His music touched on all things you usually hear from a conscious hood rapper, except there was a certain authenticity to Camoflauge when he rapped, like he's possibly still living the words he spoke, which made his music connect even more to his target audience. He was one hit song away before his dreams was taken from him in broad daylight in the coldest way. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to Still Down for Me on IG for this request. It's your boy JC Stunner Growth Music. Get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Camoflauge was a rapper from Savannah, Georgia that since a young age wanted to become one. What's amazing is watching his documentary, you could see that everyone around him knew his chances were great as well. His talent was evident in more than simply rhyming words. He understood rhythm, beating on the table, could sing, remember every word with no mistakes, and his cadence was perfect, sounding exactly as if he were in the studio. He could do this all simultaneously is what was really impressive. The cherry on top was the words you could feel deep in your soul of a person who just wanted to better himself and had plans to legally achieve success. He recorded Cut Friends and released it to his local radio station, and a week later, record labels were on his line trying to sign him. He signed with Universal Records on a one-album deal and released his third album, Strictly for the Streets, with the label. Stunt number 1, The Streets Don't Love You Back. The thing about poverty or growing up underprivileged is while it puts you through tests that produces the sharpest diamonds, throughout those tests you're extremely vulnerable, where at any moment, any day, you can lose your life. The streets is not a game, but being a gangster rapper, you're almost required to play in them to gain authentic experiences to speak about in the music, in order to paint the realest picture the fans can live through without stepping foot in the ghetto. The rapper knows it, his label knows it, all his friends and even his family knows it, and guess what? Universal knew it too. Record labels only sign who they know connects to a fan base and understand connecting as a street rapper means their artists are likely taking street risk every day. It's a gift and a cursed lifestyle where the more destructive you are, the more interesting you become to the fans and the more valuable to a label. The name of the game is to make enough money to help your family out the ghetto and hopefully make it to where you can bring all your friends too, so most rappers take the chance and even begin to love the streets. Problem is, as you may have already guessed, the streets don't love you back. In a place like Savanna, Georgia, the streets can really give a fuck about you. Nigga, we all poor. Who are you to think you can put us on your back and receive all the praise for getting us crabs out the bucket? I want to be that guy. That sentiment is echoed by all the other crabs, and guess what? No one gets out. That's how even locals describe a place like Savanna, Georgia. It's sad because those places lose great talent every day. There's video of Camoflauge, maybe not even 13 years old, being woken up out his sleep to rap for the camera, and even though reluctant, he spits the coldest written where you can't help but notice his one-of-a-kind talent. But the streets he was caught up in heavy after that, even arrested for a murder in 2000, spending 3 months in jail, didn't care about his way out. He was shot, had gun and drug possession charges, you name it, and Camoflauge experienced it in the streets. Made him who he was, but also turned its back on him later on. Stunt number 2, Universal deal falling through. After being released from jail on a failed indictment, Camoflauge and Pure Pain Records released his 2000 album I Represent, and it peaked as high as 58 on the hip-hop and R&B charts, leading to Uptown/Universal signing Camoflauge for his next album. Strictly for the Streets came out 2001 and performed slightly better than his previous album, but not quite good enough for Universal, who dropped him soon after the release. Him taking off on that album could have meant an entirely different story for Camoflauge, where maybe he became Boosie instead of his ultimate outcome. As Boosie himself said, and to some extent experienced, when you're popular in your city, especially when it comes to the fame a rapper can get, you become a target for law enforcement and for your peers who are competing with you in ways you may not even be aware of and hate to see you achieve something they aren't. In lower income environments, jealousy and envy are some of the leading emotions simmering and ready to boil over at any moment. Success in music is the only thing that kept Lil Boosie out the streets and able to completely move away from that environment. For Camoflauge, he wasn't so lucky. He was huge locally, even had one of the newest trucks on the streets with his face and rap name plastered all over the side, so you knew who it was. It was a ticking time bomb that went off after the deal with Universal. His only saving grace fell through. Stunt number 3, his ultimate demise. After his 2001 Cut Friends and Universal debut, Camoflauge continued on, releasing another album, Keeping It Real, in 2002 that featured Baby from the Big Timers and Cash Money Records. Camoflauge was beginning to see a rise in popularity and gearing up for possibly a deal with Cash Money, who kept close eyes on the rapper, but before long, all eyes would be closed forever when he was murdered in front of his studio. The day was like any other day. Pure Pain rappers gathered at the studio to record and produce music, with different people in and out handling whatever business they had. Camoflauge himself was visiting with a child and his mother out front, whom he knew to be his son before proven otherwise. Holding the boy, two at the time, men in a vehicle pulled up and open-fired close range at Camoflauge and sped off. The child was unharmed, but Camoflauge laid motionless on the ground before being rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Many speculated it was the result of his radio interview the day before, where he vowed to ride for his slain friend, while some believe it was a street beef that boiled over coincidentally at the same time. His killers have never been caught, as the streets remain quiet, while word on the streets is everyone knew who did it. His case remains open and his dream silent forever. All in all, Camoflauge was a victim of his environment and a system put in place to suppress talent like his. Sometimes that talent seeps through the cracks like many street rappers over the years that became rich and famous, but other times you have a Camoflauge just as talented but not so lucky. Salute, much respect, rest in peace to Camoflauge. It's your boy JC Stunt Growth Music, and I'm out.